What's up, everybody? We back again for another Combos at Brunch on Sunday. Um, Today I'm met together with the lovely Show No Emotions and Celestial Mona. Y'all say hi, introduce yourselves, plug your things.
Why Mona, where you at?
My home.
Oh,
Look like a
well,
hotel.
real Marriott-ish.
That's what I'm saying. It look like
Y'all
a
really
hotel.
my background is a mess. No, I'm stuck to this corner because my phone needs charging, and then my little cousin is here, and Coco Melon is taking over the living room, so I'm stuck in here. It's just because I have like yellow lights. Y'all tripping?
I don't know.
Even though I'm the back hair.
The headboard.
Right? Yeah.
This is my headboard. You see how
I
tacky
don't
this is?
know. That'd be a little plus.
Oh, yeah, cover that up.
I'm not at the Marriott selling pussy.
All right. I am Show No Emotions. Back at it again for another week. I am, what else? Educational consultant, mother, friend, wife, and all around great human being.
Okay.
Pass it on to Mona.
Oh, my bad. I'm Celestial Mona, aka Mona Lisa. I'm a nurse, friend, daughter, sister, all of the above.
All right, and I'm the hostess with the mostest, Darius Love All, a husband, father, son,
And the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good evening, guys. Fritz Limousine here.
What you do?
Oh, you gotta do that every single time. Oh, my bad.
We just trying to do it, bro.
Fritz Limousine, car detailer. Long time listener, second time caller.
All right, so on that note, I'm gonna get started on the first question. I'm gonna let y'all read it, and then we're gonna go into it. Have like an open forum discussion if y'all want to just randomly talk about it. So go ahead and read it. Do you think men and women today face more stresses than past generations?
Absolutely not. Well, let me rephrase that because I jumped without even processing this question.
Think about it.
I think the stressors are different because, times have changed. However, I do think that life has become much easier for this generation. So even the minimal things stress them out. I feel like a lot of the things that our parents or, grandparents had to deal with was very different. But I also feel like it was much harder times. April, I feel like it was much harder times back then than it is now. I think the stressors are different. Yeah, that's my.
A once in a generation leap for the iPhone.
I like to say I agree with that because even from my generation, me to my kids, the stuff that stress them out is like I'm like, bro, like that's nothing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But from us, it's a whole different thing. Like our stresses are bigger stresses to them. Like I don't even know they'll fold under pressure, like dealing with the stuff that we stress over. You know what I'm saying? Because the stuff they stress over is like digital shit. You know what I'm saying? Like how many people like you on a digital platform type shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff that this generation stress over. So I agree with sentiment of Show No Emotion. Anybody else got a take on it?
Oh, I guess I'm next. No, I agree with you guys. I do believe that different factors I think things have changed. I think we do stress the same for the most part, but I agree certain factors of what stress is has changed. I would say, like, for example, our parents stressing of feeding us is not really our stresses to feed our children the same way no more. Like I could imagine like how my mom growing up, my mom was making like I think like $30,000 paying a year, and she's paying for me, my sister, my aunt, and taking care of it. So like her stress level is crazy, and I'm like, wow. Going to college, I was almost making as much as my mom, so I'm like, damn, her stress game was different, was a whole different ball game. So I agree with you guys. I do think that like things has changed. So I think the way they stress has changed. I agree with you saying with Cliff when you're saying that like our like how the younger generation they stress over digital. They scared about getting bullied online, and I'm like, I was bullied in real life. Like that's to me, you're worried about somebody that you don't know, 100,000 miles away, can't harm you this way and third, but they have power that they can actually influence you to make you want to commit suicide or something like that. Versus the day to day stress that you should be stressing about, as it's like, okay, where's my next bill gonna come about? Where I'm gonna pay this bill? How you gonna pay that? How you gonna do this? But you're worried about things that really doesn't matter. So I don't know. I do think that the stress level has changed from as time progresses. But I still do think that there is a stress factor, no matter what time changes, is that we change whatever the stress is going to be.
Y'all see Mona went and switched it up. She had to get cute. Oh, cute.
My shirt was too baggy. I looked like somebody.
I didn't
Anyway,
realize.
I almost said something. But anyway, I agree that that the generation today does not face the same stress factors as us, like, or the previous generation. Like Fritz was saying, like, shoot, I was worried, like, oh my gosh, the lights off, like, when is that gonna turn back on? Or is, like, is my mom gonna have enough? Like, oh my god, are we gonna get evicted? And these kids are worried about, dang, like, mom, why can't I have the new iPhone because Adriana has the new iPhone? I mean, granted, we did the same in comparison to clothes and shoes as well, but like, no, I was really worried about, like, okay, lights, shoot, like, is my mom gonna have enough money for that, and food? And then simply, like, and then we could go back and compare it to us compared to our parents. They couldn't afford, I mean, at least like my mom, she sometimes couldn't afford to buy groceries. Like, I don't have that stress factor. And the kids nowadays don't either. They're like, I feel like they're just too soft. I'm like, we were walking home from school in elementary school. You think I trust my niece? Not her specifically, but she just does not have the street smarts for me to be like, she's in middle school, and yeah, we feel comfortable with her walking home alone. Like, I'm like,
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
was home alone in elementary school. Me and all my 4 other siblings, and not a soul came in the house. We never went outside.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever my mom said, that was it. Don't touch the stove. Don't open the door. Whatever you got to eat. I made food. Pop it in the microwave. These kids don't know that stress. Like,
I think it's economic status though, because I feel like there's kids nowadays that still walk home at 5, 6 years old, that still stay home by themselves, have to cook their own food. I think now we don't see that with like our kids or our nieces and nephews because we have raised an economic level. Just like back in generations before, we can say that our parents, we were worried about lights getting cut off and all that stuff. That's because of the economic level we were at. There were kids in that same time frame growing up the same time we did and didn't have those stressors because their parents were making a bit more. So they were worried about getting the first cell phone. You know what I mean? So I think
So
it's
you
based on your economic level.
so you saying this maybe we were forced to, I guess, witness mature things earlier, so we had to deal with mature things earlier. In this generation that we got our kids, we're not putting in a position to have to experience those things as early. You know what I'm saying? They're not seeing lights getting cut off. They're not seeing none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have to deal with none of that other stuff. So they don't. I guess their eyes. I guess we was having a discussion earlier. Their eyes are not fully open to like the world yet.
Yeah,
You know
they're
what
more
I'm saying? They're still innocent.
green because they
Yeah,
don't
they're still
have
innocent.
to. Like,
well,
we set it up to where they don't need to experience that.
Yeah.
well,
Okay, I
also
can see
too,
that.
though, like, when it comes to like mental health, we're more educated than nowadays, and these kids can seek help, especially kids of color, because that wasn't something that we were well educated on, or our parents were. So I feel like stuff like mental health, and even just having the knowledge to know your rights at any, like, we have access to Google and can Google anything. Like, if the bank doesn't want to give you this and that loan, or this company is saying, well, no, we're not going to give you this opportunity, we can easily have access to Google or YouTube or whatever to educate ourselves. And these kids have access to that nowadays compared to our parents. Certain things they would accept because they just didn't have the knowledge or the access to it. Versus nowadays, I feel like that also helps with, the difference in the stress factors.
No, I agree. That's why I said it's all down to your economic resources because we can afford to go on. Like when we were younger, my internet was waiting until AOL sent a free trial CD in the mail and then I pop it in, where my neighbor had AOL. You know what I mean? Like, so I just think it was just, I think your stressors are tied to your economic status, and then it's different stressors. Not saying that if you have money, you're not stressed. It's just a different type of stress.
I think I agree with that. I can agree with that.
Ooh, you want to
Any other takers on the topic?
She's on mute. Oh, never mind.
No, but I agree with everyone because, like what Chris was saying, also like, well, for us, we didn't really have to stress about that. And kids nowadays, they just worried about like, the Instagram, when people stay on Instagram, all these fake little blogs they're on, like everybody's worried about that instead of like, what we was worried about. So I kind of agree with everyone.
I will say I had a former student that just committed suicide, and it was because, well, this is what is. She actually went out in the backyard and shot herself with her dad's gun. Sorry. And she was only 14 years old, and she did it on the first day of school. And the reason why they say she did it is because her dad was like really strict, really hard on her. Like she felt like she couldn't be a normal girl, like hang out with friends, talk on the phone, all that normal stuff. And I was just thinking in my head, like, growing up as like a little Haitian girl, we couldn't do none of that anyways. And I never would have thought to go out and like shoot myself and commit suicide. I of course don't know what else, happened in that household or that young lady's mental state. But to me, it kind of goes back to like your environment. If everybody else around you is allowed to do certain things and you can't, then you could ultimately feel that way. But I just feel like maybe kids these days, because those other things are more heightened or more important, where we were younger, we just would go outside and play. I don't know. It just kind of took me for a loop that she killed herself because of that. And then I had another former student kill himself 2 days ago. So it's like, it's crazy.
I don't think they're able to. Yeah, I don't think they're able to deal with the stuff going on.
Shut that school down.
No.
I don't know, sir. You got two
It ain't
former
the school,
students
man.
killing themselves. I don't know, my boy.
It can't be the school, bro.
It's just like society now, kids are worried about the craziest things, you know what I'm saying? They worried about what they have, what they got on, or if you don't got this, you're not good.
Shit that's irrelevant.
Sorry.
Well, wasn't we worried about that too? Wasn't we worried about who got
But we
Jordan?
wasn't willing to kill ourselves over it.
Girl, I wasn't raised off there like that. Yeah, we would get it, but I was good with my boots, girl, right from Payless. My mama used to stay getting them. I used to love the boots. You see? So, like, for me, and then when we did get Nikes and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't that child to say, oh, let me get the most expensive, because it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't my stress about it. I wasn't stressing about it. But nowadays, how they got it going with social media, and I blame social media and like things that's going around, because they look at it as like, oh, if I ain't got enough friends, oh, I'm a nobody. Or if I ain't, so if I don't have enough friends, I'm a nobody. Or if I don't go to this party, I'm a nobody. Like, that's what they're mainly worried about. And kids are cruel. Like nowadays, like back then, we used to, your mama fat, your mama ugly, But these kids are going to a point to where like they'll slap your mama, or they'll cuss your mama out, or it's just crazy now. It's crazy.
The thing that I've seen the most working in the school systems, first of all, it's middle school kids that are the meanest. First, they're just horrible. And you think about it, when you was in middle school, that's like the worst time of your life. Like middle school is mean as fuck. And then they used to do like just taking like nasty pictures of people and posting it on social media, and they'll have like everyone come and comment on that person and all that. It's horrible, man. Or they'll take naked pictures. These girls with these naked pictures. You don't know how many students' parents were crying in my office because of naked pictures. And they'll take these naked pictures and just slam it all over and make TikToks dancing behind the naked picture. Like, it's crazy. They're mean. These kids are mean.
I don't know how to do that. That's the funny part.
Yeah, that's savage. That's savage.
Yeah.
Anybody else got anything to say on the topic before we move along?
Obviously, I agree with Fufu as far as like with social media. So I remember growing up, we didn't have social media for real. You know what I'm saying? Like besides like MySpace, but it wasn't like I was getting bullied on MySpace. Like if I got, like I said earlier, if I got bullied, it was in person. I do agree, like how Fufu was saying, with because of social media, like now the people that you don't know validate who you are versus the actual people that you do know. And it's so crazy that like your actual friends that you actually have, they'll talk to you, be your best friend, they'll be there for you, but you don't care about none of that no more. It's about the people that you don't know. That's the extra $50,000 people that you don't know that tell you who you are. And then if they say you were this person, now you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they think I'm this person. It's like, but they don't even know who the hell you are. And I agree. That's why I think a lot of times with that, they'll let society depict who they are and they forget who they are. And then that's why I think they lose that mental state. And that's when sometimes they want to commit suicide, or they do go to the extreme edge of sadness or depression and all that other crazy stuff. So I think for them, social media is a big stress factor.
Yeah.
True. And I guess we was born in that era where we was born before and during it, dog. So it's like, bro, we can go either way with this shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? We don't necessarily feel no stress or pressure over somebody not liking a picture of ours or something like that, or somebody talking shit under a picture of ours. We'll talk shit back. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever.
It is what it is.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
I think it depends on the person though, because I know people that's born in my era that, boy, they'll paint a story for you on social media too now.
That's true too. That's true too.
So I just think it depends on your personality. Like I got people who won't wear the same outfit twice because it was posted on social media and all this stuff. Like
I wear that bit about 1,000 times again. I agree with you. There is a lot of people that from our era. I agree with you. I think the people who's probably like who like have low self-esteem and stuff like that, they create that image on social media, so therefore they can be validated and be respected, versus in real life they probably quote unquote like the losers. And I agree with you. I feel like that's how like people become cops who are losers or who got bullied, and they become cops and they still have that PTSD. So like now they're like, oh bitch, I got the power, I'm the captain now, and they're the ones who like to go on the deep end versus, oh, let me stop and think about this first.
yeah.
On that note, I'm gonna move along to the next question. Since all generations got stressors, what are some ways you de-stress? You personally?
Smoke.
And that's one way to do it.
Hang out with my friends. The beach. I love going to the beach. If I don't get in the water, just being, I don't know if that has to do with my water sign, but I just love being by the beach, just sitting there.
Why are you laughing, Mona?
I mean, that sounds good.
I didn't know.
I didn't know Scorpio's a water sign. I'm thinking Scorpios is like, you know what I mean, like Scorpion, it should be in a desert or a land. But they're like, oh, that's a water sign. I'm like, okay.
I never. For me, I like to buy stuff.
Retail therapy.
I like to buy stuff. Those things make me happy. Not in a way where I'm buying like material things to show off. It's just like, okay, you know, this perfume, this will make me happy. Or to be honest, I like to relax a lot. Like just Netflix, eat my favorite snack, or Hulu, or whatever the case may be. I honestly just like to chill at home.
Yeah, I think mine is I like to buy things too, and then I like to go places. Not like here. I like to travel, and like that's a big de-stressor for me. Like any break I get, I like to go somewhere and travel. And then the other indulgence, and sleep. I love to sleep.
Sex.
I agree.
I can say that.
I agree with that. Smoking, drinking, spending time with people. That's what. Like, I don't need to travel nowhere. I can hang out and just spend time with the people I love, man. That's enough for me.
I agree with that too.
Do you guys think tying certain things to your de-stressors makes it a little turn into like a stressor? Like if you like people saying like sex or smoking and drinking is a de-stressor. If you like every time you're stressed and you tie it to de-stress, you indulge in those things, can that turn into a stressor?
I think it could turn into an addiction. Like you giving it a reason to. It could be an addiction.
Yeah, I agree. I could say it become more of an addiction versus a distressor.
Right.
I would say that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds more like it. Yeah, I agree with you.
It's more than one. So you
So
ain't
if
got
you're
to
saying
do the same thing over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to smoke and drink this time, and me, I like to go try different restaurants. Like that's my distressor. Like just going, eating, just chilling. Like Cliff said, being with my family. It don't have to always be like sex or drinking all the time. It's just different stuff.
yeah, I agree with that. So yeah, show no emotions. We all said pretty much is we think it's more of like an addiction instead of like a stressor. So it's gonna be like you tired it, like say okay, me and I like to drink to de-stress, and then I do that every day to de-stress from work every day. Like eventually that thing is gonna pile on and become some kind of a habit. So that would be where the addiction is.
Yeah, that's why I said it though. Because I feel like when people tie certain things to de-stress, that is when it becomes an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going to like the root of the problem and removing what is stressing you, I think people turn to certain things to de-stress, and then they're just so used to doing that it becomes an addiction.
So then you're saying addiction is the stressor then?
I think that's when it becomes a stressor.
Okay. See that?
Because I feel like some people probably don't know the root cause of the stress, don't know how to deal with the root cause of the stress, so they numb the pain, which is your de-stressor. But then if you're doing that too often, it becomes an addiction, which will become an additional stressor because now you're battling something else.
That is, I can see that. Good way to point it out. I see that.
I went to FAU. I went to FAU, guys. That's College of Education.
Any more takers on this question?
Fritz, you in an Airbnb now?
I saw Shay with a background. I was like, I want a background too.
Wow, that's crazy.
I've been nice.
Not a piano. Go on the keys. First, go on the keys. Go play the keys real quick. Nope, looks like you're not on the keys to me.
All right. So I'm gonna move on to the final question, the big topic of the whole podcast today. First, I'm gonna give a definition. It's supposed to be emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. So, on that note, I would say, are women too emotional or do men lack emotional intelligence when dealing with the previous definition of here? I don't know if y'all need time to read this whole definition.
I would say sometimes, depending on the situation, men do lack the I guess the emotional knowledge, what you call it, whatever it was, the
emotional intelligence.
The emotional intelligence. Because sometimes I feel as if we just think about it as we're so structured to certain things where it's like 1 + 1 = 2. It doesn't forget emotions. Emotions don't matter. This is what this is. This, that, and the third. But I feel sometimes, depending on the situation, where we're more, I ain't gonna say we're more methodical. I just sometimes I feel as if depending on the situation, we could lack the emotional intelligence, but sometimes I feel women do be sometimes, depending on the situation, could be more emotional for that situation than a man would be. But I'm not going to say that women are traditionally just over emotional. I think it's based on the situation at hand.
I think women are too emotional, and I also think men lack emotional intelligence. So, according to that definition, I think both genders are lacking, and they're lacking in different ways. I think women base everything off emotion, sex, everything off emotion. And I think women lead with emotion and men lead with logic. That's why men lack emotional intelligence. So I think both parties have to figure a good balance, and then that's how you can mesh well. So I think men have to still have that logical side, but increase their emotional intelligence by understanding that women are emotional and women lead with emotion. So in order to tap into that woman, you got to tap into her emotions. Where I also think women need to understand that men are more logical. So when certain situations come up, they can put their emotions to the side and think logically like a man as well. That way they can reach the guy or relate to the guy better. So I think both parties need to fine tune their aspects in order to mesh well. Because I think according to that definition, women, yes, are too emotional, and yes, men lack emotional intelligence.
I agree. I do think it's both what you said. I think women are too emotional, and then majority of men lack emotional intelligence. Like majority of men, and like you said, we like if our girl is crying, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like why is you crying type stuff. You know, it's like not trying to understand why she's crying. It's like, bro, like you ain't got nothing to be crying about. You know what I'm saying? It's a more over the top, you feel me, type of thinking. When that girl is crying, she be like, it's just like something that might have triggered her from the past that you said that brought up something, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, bro. It could be anything, but she's feeling the kind of way, and then she can't express to you how she's feeling because it's not gonna make sense to you logically. You know what I'm saying? So she might be over emotional, but you over logical to the point where you're not emotionally intelligent. So I agree that it's both parties.
I know women can be overly emotional in a sense of, like Fritz said, it depends on what it's about, like, or what it's in, what it pertains to. I feel like when it comes to, like, family and loved ones, we are over emotional, but I feel I'm leaning more towards we tend to be more emotional than men versus like overly. Like I don't think every woman, like majority women, are just like sitting here just crying over every little thing. I don't think that. I think it has to be something you care or love for. That's when we're like over emotional or overprotective, I guess. And I do think men do lack more emotions, because look how Cliff was like, what are you crying for? Well, just man up. Like, but as like me, if I see my friend crying, I'm gonna be like, what the hell, what's going on? Something, I guess that would be me getting overly emotional in that situation, because it's someone I care about and I love, and I'm gonna feel more, I guess, empathy towards it, I guess. Because I don't know, who was I talking to one time? They were like, oh yeah, if I see a family was shot on the news, I'll be like, oh damn, that's messed up. But us women, our reaction is going to be like, oh my god, we might shed a couple of tears. I think it's more, I want to say it's more empathy than anything, but I could be wrong.
But do you think that's too emotional? Because like you just brought up the scenario of a family shot on TV. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of people get shot every day. You know what I'm saying? Like you looking at it as a standpoint of, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? Like because I'm like, people get shot every day, bro. Like
that's why I'm saying, like, I think it's more of an empathy thing than a overly emotional. Maybe we have more empathy. Okay. But you guys can correct me. This is just what I'm thinking, because I can feel like, I feel like a woman will put their self in the place of, damn, that wife or that mom just lost her entire family. That's how we're looking at it. And then we have Cliff or some other men will be like, every day, B, this is why, I think it's putting yourself in the same feelings or position as the person that lost that family, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's more sympathy. I think women are more sympathetic than empathetic, and I think
what's the difference between the two words?
Empathetic. Sympathy is when you feel sorry. Empathy is when you understand where the person is going through.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But that's
you
even those two words tie into this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The sympathy is more
And empathy. Because I think men are more empathetic and women are more sympathetic.
Yes,
because
I understand.
women are more
every day.
Right. There you go, Shirley. You hit it right on the head, because as they tell us, we need to don't be sympathetic. Oh, I feel sorry for you. No, empathy. Like, I understand the emotions you're going through.
Yeah.
I like that. Who else want to hop on?
Fufu, what time the food gonna be ready?
By 7:30. By 7:30.
I'll be there by 7:45.
I'm sorry.
Anybody else want to speak on the topic?
What about you guys? Have you guys ever heard, and this is for both the men and the women. Men, have you guys ever heard that you lack emotional intelligence from a woman that you've dated or whatever? And then females, have you ever been told you were too emotional from a man?
Yeah. I would say with me, I guess because the fact I grew with a house full of women, I'm not scared to talk about my emotions. So whenever I feel something, I usually just I say it. Granted, sometimes I would say it when where I'll probably wait till I'm inebriated and get the liquid courage to say it. But sometimes I heard that sometimes are you too emotional to be a nigga? And even growing up as a kid, my mom would be like, man, you cry too much, or you man up, stuff like that. I remember that because whenever I felt something I couldn't express it, I used to cry. But I wasn't crying because something was hurting or sad. It just I didn't know how to articulate myself, so it made me so frustrated. I just cried. So I just remember that it was I wouldn't say they would say I lacked or I was too emotional. I guess you could say I was too emotional. But I could say that I never had where a woman in my relationship would be like, well, Fritz, you lack emotional intelligence and stuff like that. Because I am sort of kind of forthright. I'm saying it right? Forthright?
Child, this vocabulary be fucking y'all up on this podcast.
I ain't gonna lie. I did bad in school. Dixon is not my thing. But yeah, I know for a fact that I never had a situation where a woman would be like, well, Fritz, you lack emotional intelligence. Because I am a person that would voice how I'm feeling that day. Granted, sometimes I might say it when I'm inebriated, but I still say it nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
I've been told I'm overly emotional, but not a lot, not often. But I also feel like some men use that to manipulate women, so you can hold your emotions in and not because they don't want to hear it. I feel like a lot of men use that to manipulate women. You too emotional, oh my God, you make you everything's a bit. I really feel like men use that to manipulate some women because they don't want to hear it. They don't want you to speak up or voice your concerns about certain things. And I'm not talking about nagging. They're, two different, but that's my opinion.
I could say for me, I definitely was that typical man, you know what I'm saying, to where I ain't say what I felt, you know what I'm saying? I held all that shit in, you know what I'm saying? I kept that bitch rolling. And then if somebody I was in a relationship with was expressing something to me it was like bro, what's the issue here, bro? There's no big ain't nobody dead, ain't no we still together, you know what I'm saying? We love each other, bro, whatever, bro. What's the big deal here? So I definitely was on that regular non-emotional intelligence thing, bro. But I think I'm a lot better now. I kinda understand certain things, you feel me? So and I kinda express myself more. So but that came with time.
I've never been told by a guy that I was too emotional, but I think that's because I always hide my emotions. I'm actually very sensitive. And so me being mean and all that is a defense mechanism. So I've always had this wall of where I gotta be the toughest or not even necessarily be the toughest, but I guess not let people see me sweat type attitude. So I've never been told that I was too emotional, but I know behind closed doors I'm a very emotional person. I just out in public, I like lock it up as a defense mechanism. Fufu and Zeke.
Well, with me,
No
one ever told me that I'm too sensitive or I lack it. I think because if I don't like that, I won't have any feelings. Like, and I'm not scared to show that because it's not that serious. But it's serious when I'll be both. And it all depends on who you're with. Like my mate now, I don't need to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's something that's not going on correctly or something that we need to work on, we talk about it. So don't need to hide it,
That's beautiful. I love y'all.
But don't get me wrong, when it do come out, it doesn't mean you might not like it and you might do, So
we know y'all both Taurus. We know.
What about you, Zeke? You got something to say on
it? Yeah. I mean, for the most part, I was, I was raised by a woman, so I would say at times, I'm not afraid to, voice my emotions, but then again, being a man, there's certain things or certain times or certain circumstances where we feel like, we shouldn't, feel a certain type of way or being that we're a man, that we shouldn't cry, but as we get older, I just feel like, as I got older, I learned that, that was just some bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
What made that switch for you, Zeke? Like, what made you realize that was BS and to start tapping into your feelings?
Because, I mean, I guess it's just me seeing like another strong man or somebody who I consider to be strong, actually seeing him, shedding tears and, I kind of like, took that in, and made that adjustment, for me. I can't really speak for everybody else, but, for me to, look up to this one person and, I know he's strong, I know he can provide, I know he can do this and the other, but to see him actually be hurt and actually, shed a tear and cry about something, that actually, stuck with me and opened my eyes up, and actually showed me that like, it's all right to cry. That don't make you less of a man because you cry over something that, that you care about. Or that that might be a way to express your feelings. Sometimes we actually need to, just to get it off your chest.
Definitely. I definitely agree.
But I mean, also, it being raised by a single mother, it did kind of have its I wouldn't say downsides to it. I would say like it's rough patches to it because my old girl, she wasn't really like the one to like express her feelings or emotions. It was just more like either. I don't really know how to explain it, but she wasn't really too open, with her emotions, or expressing her emotions. For the most part, all we know is that like, she was strict, She didn't play the radio about certain things, well, a lot of things, but I also feel like her being like that, I picked that up as well. You know what I'm saying? Because, back in the past, there's been times where I've been insensitive about shit. Well, the next person might have felt like, well, damn, bro, you doing that? That just make me look at you like you the worst person in the world. You know what I'm saying? All because, me not really, I ain't gonna say not really showing emotions or sincerity towards somebody, but it was just that the fact that was just how I was raised. There was certain things would happen, I'd be like, all right, man, suck that shit up, it is what it is. You good, you all right. When in actuality, whatever the case was, I might have actually really hurt somebody, like to the core, to the deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with that.
So are you guys teaching your sons to be tapped into their emotions and walking away from that stigma of men aren't supposed to cry and stuff like that? Your current sons and future sons?
Oh yeah, I'm the mind heavy, man. Like, look, bro, you gotta use your words.
Yeah.
You gotta use your words, man. Say what's wrong with you, and you mean what you say.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the most important thing. You gotta use those words.
Yeah.
I tell mine that as much as I can. But sometimes he might want to say something to me, but then he feel like, well, maybe I shouldn't. And then, a parent could tell something wrong with the kids, you know what I'm saying? So, I just, bro, speak up. What's up? What's wrong? You ain't gonna get in trouble. I ain't gonna be mad or whatever it is. You gotta say what it is. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get it off your chest. Got to. I don't need to hold it again.
I agree with that. I feel the same way. Like me, I'm definitely raising my kids to actually think through how they feel. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily just expression or crying off a rip or getting angry off rip. Just think about how am I feeling in this moment, and then what can I do? Is it something that's drastic and too big? I'm getting them to actually think about what they think is what I'm trying to do.
Well, I haven't any kids yet, but when I do have a kid, and if it's a boy, I definitely would want him to tap into his emotional side where he's not afraid to share, hey dad, this is what makes me happy, this is what makes me sad, this is what makes me frustrated. This, like you said, you gotta use your words. My mom used to always say parle chaud, parle vite. And definitely gotta say what you mean and mean what you say, because a lot of times we do fuck around as men, we don't know how to voice our things and we just keep it bottled up until we explode. And usually when we explode is the end of it, where we could have easily just talked about it prior and hey guys, I'm not feeling too good about this and the third. And sometimes I feel as if for us as men too, just because of the social norm of us having to be men, we can't really talk about our emotions and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm fortunate I have a group of friends of males where we're not afraid to talk about how we feel. If we're sad about some shit, we'd be like, hey man, Cliff, hey man, I ain't gonna lie, dog. I'm sad. I'm hurting on this, I'm hurting on that. Damn, dog, shit, what do you think I could do? And whenever we meet up and we chilling, we actually, when we say how you doing, we actually mean it. And we actually do want to know how you doing, emotionally, physically, how are you doing? So I'm definitely fortunate that I do have I guess you could say a family that could I feel comfortable voicing how I feel, where I don't have to keep too much things bottled in. Of course, as a man, you're still gonna keep certain things in for the most part, just because of your manhood. But besides that, I'm very fortunate. I do have a clique that I can actually talk to and voice my opinions and voice my emotions, where I know they're not gonna judge me. They're gonna be like, man, first tighten up. You sound like a hoe. You sound like a little bitch or whatever, quote unquote. You sound like a little female right now. I don't have to. I feel like I said, my group of friends, they're pretty my safe place. I can always go to them and talk to them and tell them how I feel, and I appreciate that. So hopefully, when I do have a son, I could hopefully I could teach him to tap into that, and hopefully I build a a family for him where he could go to and he could be like, hey man, I'm sad about this, or I'm hurting about this, I feel a certain way about this, that, and the third. So he doesn't pile everything in, hold everything in, and then next thing you know, when he blows up, it's too late. Now I can't help you. I can't do nothing about it before you out there do something crazy. So I definitely want my son to be able to voice his opinions and feelings to me, to his mother, to his friends, to his family.
I think it's very important to have a good tribe behind you that you can feel comfortable going to and opening up and knowing that they're going to hold you accountable. They're not going to just say what you want to hear, but then they're also going to be there like to support you and things like that. So I think that's very important to have in your life. And a lot of people don't have that. So I think that's very lucky when you can or do have something like that.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the last question. So I think I'm gonna go into article / book of the week. And then this article was given by it's Cassandra. She ain't here today, but I put it in the private chat. It's the article about. Looking at this up. Maybe it's taking a little minute.
Can you see it? You see it?
See what?
The screen.
I don't see no damn screen.
I hit share.
Right there. There we go. Got it. All right, so this is the article.
Y'all got money.
I am not playing with poo-poo.
Oh man. So yeah.
So I don't know too much about this Mississippi.
Yeah, so pretty much what is I guess he got the governor or the mayor or something like that in Mississippi to like do some back channels so where he could get some funding from people that also some welfare people that were supposed to get, and then to build the little, I think it's a volleyball or a tennis stadium for his, I guess, daughter's school or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like pretty much taking money from people that actually need it for your daughter.
Oh, he was funneling the money to University of Southern Mississippi for a volleyball court. I guess that's where his daughter went.
Yeah.
Lock him up. Yeah. Lock his ass up.
Put him under the fucking jail.
I say the same, man.
I agree. Lock his ass up. That what they do to us.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. For less than that.
A coach for the Celtics, right? Celtics could lose his job. He could lose his everything as well.
That's another stupid one, bro. Like the man, all he did was pretty much cheat on his girlfriend. Dog. That's all he did.
But it's because he did it with another Celtics employee. Yeah. So it was on the job. If he would have did it with anyone else, it wouldn't affect his job.
Much. But as I'm saying, why is it big ass news? He had sex with another person.
Signed in whatever contract or whatever that.
It's news because Nia Long too. People are sitting here like, why would you cheat on Nia Long? Same like when Halle Berry got cheated on or Beyonce got cheated on. Like those become big news because people think those women are like top tier gorgeous and this and that. But that shows you that a nigga gonna fuck around. He could have the best thing on the planet. He's still gonna fuck around.
No, that might mean something wrong with them, bro. Why are they getting cheated on? It could be something wrong with them. Why you get cheated on? Listen, if you was the best thing smoking, why would somebody cheat on you, bro? It's something wrong with you too. You know what I'm saying? Listen, obviously it's something wrong with me. I cheated. But it's something wrong with you too that made me cheat, bro.
What I'm saying is it doesn't matter how perfect you are in a relationship, whatever. People gonna do what they want to do, regardless. Temptation is out there and people gonna do what they want to do.
True. I agree with that.
But Brett Favre. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going back to the Celtics thing. I think the reason why it got bigger than what it was, I think he was fucking like one of the executives' wives, and it's bigger than what it is because it wasn't just that he was fucking. I think he got her pregnant. He had like an abortion.
See, that's big deal. That's big deal. Then.
So it wasn't just like he was screwing the girl that's like the massage therapist or physical therapist or whatever. It wasn't just a regular girl that's on the team. it was like one of the head bosses, like it was like his boss, it was fucking his boss wife, and his boss was like, hell no. Because think about all the stuff that be going on. You think that none of the coaches or none of the players or none of the stuff ever happens with all the teammates and people that's in the team? I think it happens. But I think if you do some shit to the boss, man, the boss man gonna have to put his hammer down. Like he's like, nah, fuck.
But they only suspended him for a year though. They didn't even fire him.
Right.
They only suspended him for a year.
That's leading up to the fire. He gonna be gone
crazy as hell, though. I still think that's crazy as hell, but yeah.
But
I mean, I get it, bro.
We'll go back to Brett
Favre. Go ahead, Brett Favre.
No, I was just gonna say Brett Favre is racist anyway, so I ain't care. Lock his ass up.
Yeah, I agree. Throw him under the bus because
under the bus.
You can't tell me you're gonna take them $500,000 to build a stadium for your child's college team that has to be
only $500,000.
Right, with the community of Mississippi, you already know the black community is. Mississippi is like one of those. I ain't gonna say it's run down overall like that, but we know it's not one of those top development states. So
it's the poorest state in the country.
Right. So if we're talking about this is the poorest of the poorest, and you're still stealing from them, and you didn't feel bad about it, and you try to hide it, like, okay, well, is this gonna lead back to me? Because like I think he had like text messages and all that stuff saying that, hey, can this lead back to me? Like, is there a way we could do it without like it can lead back? And so it's like you're doing something wrong. So and then you still was like, yeah, fuck, I know I'm doing something wrong, but I'm still gonna do it. Man, throw that motherfucker under the bus, man.
I just feel like, look at the importance. You're smuggling money from the welfare system for a volleyball court, and there's people in Jackson, Mississippi right now where their water is doo-doo brown.
Exactly.
They don't even have clean water.
He should have been rallying some type of fundraiser to donate to them, not to build his damn daughter's redo the volleyball court or whatever.
There was already one there, man. So they just remodeled.
Yeah, like come on, that's ridiculous.
And
it's playing on something, man.
He's still Brett Favre. The man still is worth. I think he's worth like them. They're like 60, almost $100 million. So you telling me
exactly.
you could spend $500,000 and then use as a donation and use as a tax write-off? You could do that.
Nah, but rich people don't use their money. You know what I'm saying?
Or you can do a fundraiser. Exactly. He could have did a whole fundraiser and he could have got that money in no time.
Money.
His daughter's thing with all the rich people they know.
Easy money. That's exactly what you said. Invite all your homeboys. Think about all the championships you was in, the people teams you was on, like all these people that you know. You could have been, hey, who could donate $50,000? Who could donate $10,000 here and there? You could have asked all these people to donate something, and the man still said, "No, I'm still from the poor. Fuck it."
Yeah.
Throw him under the bus. I feel as if he should at least 5 years or better.
I don't know, bro. Like that's, you know what I'm saying?
He's not though.
Felonies is freaking like $300 and some. You know what I'm saying? That's $500 and some thousand. You saying? That's a lot of money, bro.
They need to lock him up like they lock up my people for the IRS tax fraud. All them Haitians sitting in jail right now for IRS. Lock his ass up.
Yep. And if you could steal, you could cheat. And if you could cheat, you could kill.
And if
Mona, is this your third time changing? God damn.
She going out, man. She going out tonight, man. She's stepping out. Man.
I'm not going anywhere.
So why you
What, they got cold? They got cold in the house?
No, I was showing my sister what I was trying to pack for my trip.
Where you going?
We still go on this trip, child, this hurricane. What we gonna do if they cancel?
They're going to Hawaii. They're going to Hawaii.
Okay, foo-foo. Okay, foo-foo.
We going to the opposite direction.
Yeah, but we still have to fly out of Miami, which they can cancel our flight, Mona, because the hurricane's supposed to hit.
Hurricane?
The hurricane's supposed to hit Wednesday morning. We fly out Wednesday morning. That's when the hurricane is supposed to hit.
Jesus.
Tampa area. So y'all gonna have to fly that way, bro.
I told Cliff maybe the plane can go around Tampa area.
How?
But yeah, more than likely they might cancel our flight, Mona.
Wow, that's crazy.
That would look real cute in Hawaii, though. I see the little floral.
Right. That's the vibe I was going for. Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, man. Let's go to the listen now section, bro. I think we done talked enough about this Brett Favre situation. Show No Emotions. I think that's what's the song?
My listen now. I have I guess different taste in music, but y'all gonna get these every week. But my listen now is my background which is coffee. I don't really listen to too much reggae. I can only take it in doses. Like I can't listen to a full reggae session. However, I like reggae, and that's only. I guess let me differentiate because there's dancehall, and then like there's reggae and all that. I can listen to reggae, but dancehall is a little bit much for me. But coffee to me is like bringing back like the old school reggae, like the Bob Marley feeling, the Buju
that culture
Banton
music.
feeling. Yes, she's very like I think her father actually was in a older reggae band, so he kind of like groomed her um to like be this artist or whatever. She actually won a Grammy recently. She won a Grammy before she even dropped an album, which was very well deserved. This album is very good. One of my favorite songs on that album is called Times 10, but she basically just talks about like being gifted, thanking God, thanking her parents. Like it's a very uplifting and positive album. She also talks a little bit about like the political climate in Jamaica, and it's just a very good album from a young woman. She's kind of going against the grain by trying to bring back like that old school reggae vibe. So this album actually dropped in like May or April, like April or May. So it's been out for a while, but it's really good. I think everyone should check it out.
What's the album called?
Gifted.
Gifted.
Yeah, it's her debut album, but she has a few EPs. One of her EPs is called Rapture. That's the one she won the Grammy for. And then she has this album called Gifted. Very good album. I love it. Junior knows all the songs. He be singing all the songs. So definitely check it out if you guys get a chance. You want to listen to some new but different music.
Okay.
Hi, Zeke.
I guess what I would suggest to y'all, I just started listening to her. But the niece of the Isley brothers, Alex Isley, she's pretty dope. I just started listening to her. She's pretty dope. She's solid. She has like that soulful, eclectic voice. Like I said, I just started listening to her, so I don't even know what type of album she got out and all that stuff. I really don't know. It was on Pandora, and I was like, damn, this girl could sing. So I just looked it up. It says Alex Isley. So when I Googled her name, I found out she was one of the Isley. She was the Isley brothers' daughter. But one of their brothers or sister daughter, that's their niece. She's in the game. She's pretty solid. I like her. I'm really getting to. I'm trying to download her album or something so I can listen to her a little bit more. But I would definitely recommend her. Alex Isley.
All right, so with it. And then on that note, do open floor. Y'all run it. Open floor, questions, comments, concerns, topics.
Fritz, she has an album, or you just heard singles? Sorry,
I think she might have an album, but I don't know. Like, she might have like an EP out or something like that. I could check for you guys. So I see that she's about to go on tour. Let me see what she got. Because I know she's a songwriter and everything like that. So she writes songs for different people. In 2012, she did have an EP. She had an EP in 2012. Yeah, that's the only thing I seen that she had in 2012. But then like she recently been dropping new songs. So I don't know if she has a new EP out yet. But I just, like I said, I've been pretty much listening to her on her Pandora. And she has like at least like I think like 10 songs out, at least or more, besides the 2012 EP. Hey, Prit. But she's pretty dope though. I like her.
Open floor, like anything we want to talk about, like for the week?
Yeah, anything. What y'all got coming up?
Can I get you guys' feedback on the situation?
Go ahead.
Yes.
All right, let me know you guys would have reacted. I can't leave the kid alone. So we got a new neighbor in my neighborhood, right? The neighbor has a dog. The neighbor is letting the dog shit in front of me and the other neighbor's door that share a wall. So the first time, I just was like, maybe it was a mistake. Second time, I was so tired from work, I didn't even bother. Is it too loud? Let me try to get headphones. The second time, I didn't even want to bother because I was so tired from work. The third time, I found the poop. I came from work. I was so livid. I picked it up and I threw it up in front of their door.
You got that
Bare
right.
hands, man. Bare hands.
Nah.
I agree.
So yesterday night, it was been a couple of days past I didn't see poop. Yesterday night, there's poop in front of our door again.
Mm-mm.
I picked the
Don't do it
poop up
again.
and threw it over there again.
What car they drive? You should have put on their windshield.
I don't know what car they drive. So I mean, I just like I know like women, we kind of get like a little petty with stuff like this.
That's not petty.
Huh?
That's not petty.
That's not petty. They're very disrespectful.
Disgusting.
For letting
Yeah,
their dog
at least pick it up after your dog poop. You know what I'm saying? Your
Because
dog
most
poop, at least pick it up.
people, first of all, your dog's supposed to poop on grass,
We
and
we have a dog park. They provide the bags, and it's downstairs. It's really close to our building. I don't understand.
so it seems like they just let the dog out. The dog goes and poops, and then when the dog comes back to the door. So if the dog is
That could be
used to
something.
pooping in certain areas, the dog is gonna keep pooping there.
Exactly. And it's right in front of me and the lady's door because the other neighbor we share. And I'm like, bro, am I being petty? Like, what the hell am I? And I don't want to say anything to them because I don't want it to become a tiff. And then they're gonna know I'm the one throwing the poop because I'm the person that
So what the
You
other
gotta
neighbor
say
said,
something
though?
to him, man.
Well, what the other neighbor said? The one that shared the door with you. What she say?
They're not gonna know who put that poop back, but I
No,
definitely think they need to say
I'm
something.
saying what? Because y'all just moved in there, right?
No. My sister been living here. She and the neighbor have been here for like 3-4 years. I just moved in here like as her roommate and stuff.
So they've been dealing with that poop since you
No,
the one got an issue with it.
the neighbor, they just moved. The poopy neighbor.
Oh, okay. Got you.
So we know it's them
Alright.
because we don't have any dogs.
Got you.
Gotta
I
say
would
something to him.
Yeah, I would either
Yeah, you
say
definitely
something
got to check
to
it.
them, but if you don't want to say something to them, at least say something to the property managers. Like
So
the
I
com-
Right.
I did that, but I don't know if they reached out to them yet.
They ain't gonna do shit.
But I mean, I'm just like, should I say something or should I just keep throwing
Hell
the
yeah.
Yeah,
picture?
because this was at
No,
some
I
point
would
it's gonna
say-
be a hassle for you to pick up the poop every day. You feel me, dog? Every day you
Hell
gotta throw
yeah.
that shit over. You're gonna be like, bro, fuck this shit, man. You ain't gonna want to throw poop every day.
And I
You
don't.
still gotta touch poop.
Yeah, I would say something and I would come at it, hey, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but the dog has been pooping and my Ring camera shows that it's your dog, just in case they try to be like, how you know it's my dog or whatever. And just say, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but the dog has been pooping like right in front of our door. If you guys could kind of monitor that, And then from there, if they're still pooping, I would smear that shit across their whole door and I would go to the property managers.
So
See, that's when you become
You
petty.
don't pick it
little
up, just smear it.
Smear it.
Smear that bitch.
bit. I'm putting that bitch on their windshield, but you gotta
Smear
wait
that. You
tomorrow.
know, put it on the door handle.
No, I'm putting it on the windshield, bro. You gotta
Put
wait
it on the
tomorrow to
car,
work,
in the
and you
car
gotta
door
clean your whole
handle.
windshield.
Right when they
gotta
put
clean
their
your
hand
whole
up under
windshield
that bitch, shit all in their fingernails and everything.
Y'all
Hell
some
yeah.
dirty motherfuckers. Remind me never do nothing bad to y'all. Just know that. God
Nah,
damn.
It get
man,
deep,
I feel
bro.
like
It get
trying
deep.
to- They
Trying to
really
tell you.
trying. So I
Oh,
go.
that's
We have
funny.
the now, and I just noticed that the lady's man, he'll go take the dog outside, but her and her son, he's like a little kid. He looks like he's in elementary school. She just leaves the dog upstairs. I think that's what it is. That's why we don't see it every day. It depends, but
So
okay.
they probably don't even know that the little kid is doing that. Like
No,
leaving.
Comes outside with the kid. He's a small kid. She doesn't.
Oh yeah. No, I would have been.
So
said
she
something.
knows.
Yeah, I would have said something.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
Mhm.
next I'm gonna say, if I'm gonna say something, then
Definitely.
as soon as I hear that ring alarm, I'm coming outside. Excuse me.
For real. For
Nah,
real.
that's definitely disgusting. Fuck that.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
my
that's
dog-
so disrespectful.
My dog went and shit in front of somebody